Hey guys, welcome back. Okay, so I'm just going through the process of setting this up. So this is going to be real time working along with me, including all the bumps, hiccups, and irregularities we might run into, as well as, you know, the stuff that happens in my regular day. Just having a quick look to see what's going on. Okay, so first off, let's pop into the project. So I'm just going to have a look. I've set up scene 1, teaser 1A, right? And that has our mannequin in it. But I was thinking over the weekend, if we open the GR Customizable Female project and have a look at it, we might be able to use that very structure to build Hyper upon, right? Now, one of the reasons why I want to use this is because I've got 2 female characters, and as opposed to migrating the female characters from the Customizable Female project, I wonder if I can just sort of build on inside of here. There's an animation library in here as well, so we can capitalize on all of that. I am, however, going to be pulling assets from a variety of different sort of free resources that are available on the Unreal or the Epic Marketplace, rather. So while this is loading up, so there are a couple of different ways you can approach Previs. Now, when I originally got into it, the idea of creating Previs is that we would mock up props really, really quick. So we got to the point where, or all the assets rather. So we got to the point where we'd build these proxy assets super quick. We'd rig them, skin them, and especially in terms of characters, and get them moving around inside the shot. We would block out procs really quickly. We would block out props really quickly. One of the primary tools or weapons of choice was SketchUp. It would make garbage geometry, but SketchUp allowed us, with its particular tool set, allowed us to build out environments that were semi-complex relatively quickly. I have a whole thing that I can go on about SketchUp's tools and how amazing they are, especially in terms of making the process of modeling quite intuitive. But that's a whole other stream. And then we started to migrate towards faster and faster turnaround times. So my first initial previs that generally would take, you know, like a month, right? And we needed to get that down to a week. So to do that, I started incorporating the HIK rig. Or Motion Builder's rig, and reusing rigs and reusing animation and mocap data. Then it got to the point where I was starting to grab assets from Electronic Arts Ocean database, right? And so the Ocean database at Electronic Arts was every single asset ever used in any game EA's ever done, right? So that's a wonderful resource to be able to pull things together and really rapidly prototype a whole bunch of stuff, right? So part of me wrestled with that, because I was an art Puritan, right? It's like, why am I using somebody else's stuff? My stuff is so much better, you know, and I don't feel like a real artist unless I create the stuff all myself. Then I realized, yes, I was creating all the stuff myself, right? In Previs, the stuff that you're creating are the camera shots, the lighting, the sequence. That's what you're creating, not the asset. So if you are tasked with prevising a narrative sequence, and you spend 3/4 of that time modeling the character, you're not actually creating previs. Now, this is something I want you guys to keep in mind, because I'm going to be pulling assets from the marketplace. And I know for a fact, because I went through it myself when I was younger, the first thought will be, well, isn't that cheating? It's not cheating, because I'm not creating the asset. The focus of it is not to create these beautiful assets. The focus is to create these beautiful narrative cinematic sequences. And in that regard, if I'm creating the assets myself, I'm not actually doing the job that I'm meant to be doing. Okay, project names must not be longer than 20 characters. Yes. So length of there are a few sort of text-based things that I'll talk to you about in terms of naming conventions, directory structures, and length of names, and all kinds of other stuff, illegal characters. But I'll sort of unfold that as I go. Project is out of date, not now. I'm always getting that out of date, but it sort of never is, really. Okay, so the first thing I want to do is check out my structure. So we got a content folder. We don't need the starter content. That's kind of annoying. So I'm wondering if I can just cull that, right? And then we've got the stylized female character, and we've got characters and levels associated with that. I don't want that. So I'd like to migrate. I think I can migrate, because there's no dependencies. I think I can migrate the levels folder outside of here. And as well, I want to sort of pull the characters folder out as well, and possibly rename it as something else. I think it's possible, right? One of the wonderful things that's built into Unreal Engine is this ability to fix broken links within the engine. It's fantastic. It's beautiful. Kudos to the engineers for doing that. And it's fairly robust. I've never run into a problem. Having said that, I'll probably run into a problem today, because it's always the case. Something that never happens in my entire 10-year career of working with stuff will suddenly rear its ugly head in the middle of a lecture or a presentation. It generally tends to happen to me. Right? So first off, I'm going to save this as a, let's save current as. Oh, I know what I want to do. Probably going to have to reopen this again. What I want to do is, I thought I could sort of save project as, but it doesn't look like that. So I'll probably have to grab this and rename this project at the directory level. So I'm popping in here. That's kind of interesting and a little bit unusual. So I'm going to set this up to do that. In the meantime, I'm going to flip over to my Maya. And remember that character we were setting up? I'm not sure if my audio cut out on those ones as well. Oops, I didn't want to get in the Epic Store. But let's go through here, and I've got my Nikki file. So I'm going to set my recent project to my character teaser 1 Nikki. Now I've set her up as a separate character project file under teaser, simply because, you know, she's going to be rebuilt, right? We might be able to save a little bit of time if we can think about how we can utilize our reuse a little bit. Okay, so while that's loading up, I'm going to go back to my File Explorer. Right. Now, I've gone through the painstaking process of making sure that this D drive mirrors the D drive on my PC downstairs, which also mirrors what I have on the cloud drive. So I can constantly sync between the three. And it sort of mimics how Perforce does its thing, sort of. Okay, so I'm going to go in my release folder. This is where all my Unreal Engine projects live. Right? I got a 4.2.6 one. I could probably kill that. I'm not going to go into 4.2.6 until the plugins stabilize a little bit more. Right? And those are my episodes. We want to go into our teasers, and the teaser one is in there. Right? Teaser 1 OA. That's my trailer. That's teaser 1. So I'm going to pop over here and make an RKV folder, an archive folder, because I think what I want to do is to migrate that over to, did I shut Unreal? Or did Unreal just shut? Those are my screen grabs. Yeah, it looks like my Unreal closed down. I don't recall doing that. Okay, that's okay. So I think I'm under teaser 01A. I don't think there was anything in here of note. Oh, Lieutenant Bellic is in there. Yeah, that's fine though. Okay, so what I'll probably do is I'll archive this one. Pop that over. And let's go track down our customizable female asset. Right? Yeah, the TS01A. Yeah, when I look at the thumbnail, that's in its early stages. So is TS01 actually. I'll probably archive the two of them. I could probably delete the two of them actually, to be completely honest. But I do want to do the teaser 01A. The reason why is you can have a teaser, but it can be cut multiple different ways, right? So let's, okay, cool. In here. And then pop down to the D drive. And in my television animation, we should have a global folder. Content. Oh, I have an asset library there. That's okay. I might have saved all my global assets up in here for libcg. There we go. So, no, not under libcg. No, I wouldn't have saved it there because of the streaming issue coming off the cloud. It's only on the one drive downstairs. That's right. Because the downstairs hard drive has enough space. Unfortunately, my upstairs one does not. So those are the game templates. Let's go into the project. Just thinking now, I don't want to use the vehicle game template. That's right, because these are teasers. But if I need to move into where it's more vehicle centric, I can use that as a later day. I'm trying to think this through. Which is the better project to have as the rooted base? But that's cool. So this is the 425 one. I'm going to control copy this guy. I do need to do something with those assets as well. But with that copied, I'm just going to move it on over into here and then rename this. So let's go in the release folder where we've got our trailers, right? And I'm going to paste that guy in there. Probably take a little bit of time coming over. Oh, that's right as well. I wanted to check a few things that would involve me logging in to my 40 client VPN. Don't worry about this. This is university stuff. I just got to keep an eye on all the stuff that I need to keep track of. Okay, so that's emailed me a token. Just bear with me while I just check up on this stuff. All right, so connected to 40 client, that's cool. And I just wanted to that. Okay, let's take a look at the properties of that. Okay, so while that is transferring over, a little bit curious as to why this Maya file is showing me this one. I did just click on the most recent. I'll pop back in and take a look, I think. Ooh, where'd my audio go? Just gonna check, make sure my audio is working. Oh, there it is. Crazy. I wonder if I can rename this in Streamlabs. Rename. There we go. I'm going to call this Trust Mike. Trust Mike. Cool. All right. So that's good. All right. So Lordy, I hate that so much. Windows crash. There you go. Now, I just want to see the properties of this guy. I don't know. I told you guys last week, this delay with the right-click menu, I sort of took a look at that inside my registry editor and cleaned it out, and it's still causing an issue. So that might not have been it. I think I might have to update my graphics driver and see if that sorts it out. I'm going to try to multitask that later. Okay, so here we've got the skeleton of the female character I want to work with to represent my Nikki character. She's a little bit old, but that's okay. It's just a previs. But I'm going to go through and see if I can find my rigged scene. There we go. So we got the Nikki 1 HIK, right? Let's open this up. Now, I deleted a bunch of joints and stuff off here, which is risky, but I do know that the joints that I want to use to send data over to Unreal are fine, right? I'm not sure what I am going to do about the jaw, but I don't think I'll need to do that. Well, I can always have another version with the facial controls rigged up and then go in and use that, right? So here's our HIK skeleton. Now, I think we're finished transferring over our... Oh, Windows Explorer shut down. That's what that was. Hopefully that didn't kill my transfer. Okay, just to be sure. So when Windows Explorer shuts down, it might have shut down mid-transfer. The best utility to use, again, is this free file sync, which is super, super cool. I'm going to save what I have going on here, partially because I wanted to change how the behavior of the synchronization. I wanted it to be a two-way, identify and propagate changes on both sides. Deletions, moves, conflicts are detected automatically using a database. Create a mirror backup of the left folder. No, we want a two-way sync. I'm going to try it. I've never really tried a two-way sync, but let's save this guy off. Now, I'm going to come in here. So we had our global libcg real-time projects, content, characters, and we had the 425 version of the female. And I'm going to move this over to my release folder. Oh, not in there, on the local drive, into my release folder inside here, and into the trailers folder, and there, right? So I'm going to make sure the synchronization is set to update from there to there, and I'm going to compare. Yeah, so it did stop, right? So I'm going to send all this stuff over to the other side. The free file sync is a little bit more robust than just a straightforward copy paste, right? So this will tell me if I run into any kind of issues. And it also makes sure I have a one-to-one correlation between the files. I'm going to take this opportunity to try and right-click on that shortcut icon again, and we'll wait, right? So you guys can take a couple of minutes, go grab a cup of coffee, because it looks like this transfer is going to be 2-3 minutes, and then you can come join me, and then we'll pick it up from there. Wow, that right-click functionality. It's a killer. I might take this opportunity to go down and grab a cup of coffee as well. I'll be right back, guys. Okay, guys, I'm back. Just checking my sync. My synchronization was successful. I generally do another compare just to make sure everything's good, right? That's cool. So that tells me that's gone through okay. And now we're going to pop in there and just do some creative renaming, right? I'm going to pop back into my project directory. I'm going to have to sync all this stuff over later, but that's cool. Should be all right. Let's pop into the release folder inside our trailers. So here, you are no longer that. You're going to be SO1, teaser 1, A. Right. Okay, new identity. Okay, so that's good. So I'm going to pop into here and we'll go more because now I'm going to want to browse for that project. So I'm going to hop over to where we've now shifted this guy over. And like I said, we're gonna, any assets we're gonna need, we'll migrate over manually. The big thing is just connecting everything up once we get it over. Depending on how well engineered this is. Oh yeah, I wanted to make a couple of name changes in here, right? So can I change this in here? Let's try it. Let's try it. It's just a project name, right? So there would be no dependencies, I don't think, in here. So I like to truncate the name occasionally so that it's a little bit, yeah, let's just do that. Let's try that. I'm going to truncate that to teaser 1A. That's our U project. That's what we're building. And I'm going to take this, let's see if it opens. Now, the telling sign will be if we have any error messages that indicate broken links or dependencies. But I'm hoping we're okay with that. That should be all right. Why are we in the marketplace? We don't want that. Okay, so we've defaulted to that. That's okay. I'm just going to pop back over here and say, no, oh, it is opening. Okay, I'm just gonna, I had to boil the kettle. I'm just gonna be right back. Okay, we're back. Okay, so let's see if we'll come out of that because we've opened up what we needed, right? So let's do a little bit of housekeeping here. So I'm going to pop in here, see if we can delete these guys. It'll tell me straight away as well if there are dependencies that will break. Now, if it's just prop placement in here, I'm just going to get rid of them in there as well, right? Ooh, that's doing a big old deletion. While that's happening, let's go and double check our Maya, right? And let's go into Windows, Settings, Preferences, Plugin Manager. I want to make sure we've got our LiveLink plugin. Now, I noticed in the last couple of days, we kept losing our plugin links. That's interesting. It's gone again, right? So it could just be the directory maybe where it's located. I'm not entirely sure, right? Let's see. So, Maya matrix. No, it's unusual. I'm not entirely sure what this behavior is, right? But let's pop back into Let's go back in there and see if we can relink in the plugins. And while that's doing that, I'm going to flip over here. So we've got floors, pending deleted assets. Some of the assets being deleted are still referenced in memory. So let's carefully check this out. Pillar, walls, explosions, fire, light, smoke, starter music, steam, ceiling light, explosion, fire, light studio. I think we're okay. Cobblestones, ground, metal, rock, wood, rust. This does not seem like the regular starter content stuff. I want to take a look inside that folder, actually. Looks like there's a lot more stuff that's been added in here. So we've got architecture in here, and audio, HDRI, maps, materials, shapes, textures. Okay, I'll tell you what we'll do instead. We'll come into content. These will be likely props. I don't know. So I'm going to create a new folder called library. And we'll stick, I'm going to rename this basic props. That's going to rename the assets, and it's going to go through and relink everything. And let's move that over, right? Okay, let's check up on Maya, see how Maya's doing. Okay, so I've gone into the load plugin, and I'm going to go into my C drive. Where are you, C drive? There you are. And I'm going to go into my program files. Oop. And we'll pop back into Autodesk. And Maya 2019, and we'll go into the plugins. And in here, Maya Live Link. Let's grab the MLL. That's going to take a little while to load. And then we'll browse and we'll grab the Python script that builds the UI for us. And there we go. And let's click the auto loads. Right. So that plugin loaded. It's going to see how Maya's doing. Or Unreal rather. So Unreal says, yeah, no problem. Now let's move those basic props over to there. So now it's going to relink everything again, save all the assets out. You never know when we're going to need that for our environments. So I like to have those items in a separate area in case I ever need to just blow it away. So that's cool. And in here, I might actually create another folder for characters. Okay, while that's doing its thing, pop back over to Maya. I want to test out my Live Link Mel script. It works. Thank God for that. Okay, so the other thing I'm going to do is get ready to set up for that connection, right? So I'm going to go into my character, and I'm going to grab the root skeleton, right? Now this should sense the entire hierarchy, so that's cool. So we got our character there, and we will connect it in a second once we get our Unreal sorted, right? Okay, so that's cool. That's in there. I just want to double check. That was characters and that was levels, and those are those levels, right? So I don't like the levels being there. What's this? The art, cover art, example art. And we got maps, documentation, that's cool, and meshes, yeah, that's cool. Okay, so let's move this folder. And I'm going to right click. There should be a move. There's a migrate. Where was the move now? There's a move. Pretty sure it was in here. Migrate. So I'm going to try migrate, but I believe that's migrate to another project. Following assets will be migrated to another content folder. No, don't want to do that. That's for later when we start pulling other assets into our project here. Is there a way I can just copy, paste? Edit. No, it's not going to let me do that. I've got the characters folder. I'll tell you what. Let's just rename this guy. This is my characters. With that rename, it should go through and find all my links and do all that cleanup for me. So again, I like to keep my characters folder separate from my props, etc., etc. All right, so let's pop back into Maya. Now, I don't think we need to really do anything else here other than wait for that connection. Oh, here we go. There we go. So that's awesome. Unreal Engine's renaming all those assets for me. That's very cool. Love it. When we start migrating assets over, it's going to be a little bit tricky, I think. But it's cool. I'll learn a lot about what those dependencies are inside of Unreal as I start moving things around. At some point, we'll also test out the multi-user link up again. I want to become quite familiar with that particular setup. So I'm going to run through that again, just for my own edification. All right, so we'll let it do its thing there, crank through. Right, while that's doing its thing, I'm going to do a little folder house cleaning. Ah, there we go. Okay, so that's named itself. Thank you. Oh, I've got a progress bar on my other window that says cleaning up old assets. It's an Unreal Engine progress bar. Ah, the progress bar must have followed my mouse pointer. That's kind of cool, actually. I like that. That's really good. Oh, I've also got 25% drop frames. That's not so good. But let's see how far we get with this. Okay, so a little bit about this project. Oh, there we go. It's all done. It's cool. Now, that's interesting. It's kept that one. So what did it do? Did it create a copy? I think maybe it did. I'm going to go update. All right. So if I come in here, now that's migrated over. I've got my meshes in here, right? Yeah, they're still in there. Let's take a look at the character animations. The anim starter pack is in there. That's a little bit annoying, but there we go. And do we have our character? That's our character BP. And that would be this character. Yeah, GRFH1. It's our character BP. That's cool. And one character. Okay, cool. Just trying to get sort of an understanding of what's going on here. So I wanted this character folder to be renamed. And so this will be AO1 Nikki. User 1. Again, renaming, relinking, doing all that kind of stuff. So remember, this is also a little bit of R&D, so I'm testing how flexible Unreal is in terms of being able to rename assets and move things around, et cetera, et cetera. Right. I'm also trying to prep some assignment documents on another window. You know what? You get used to sort of multitasking, especially when you have multiple monitors, and you get used to not losing track of what's what and where you are. It reminds me of you guys watch Red Dwarf. Reminds me of that episode where Rimmer wants to join the ship with the genius holograms. And he does something, I can't remember what it was, some sort of enhancement to his brain, and he's taking the test to join the Genius holograms, and he's like 2 computers, and he's operating them simultaneously. I sometimes feel like that. All right, so I'm going to pop this onto my desktop. All right, so that's gone and done its thing. I see what it does. So it goes through, it honors your changes, but it keeps the original. Let's see if we can delete this. There's going to be a bunch of dependencies, but let's see. I want to keep this project nice and clean. We'll go through and we'll organize our world outliner as well. I'll set that up. I just want to clean up the character because the first order of business is to make that connection and see if we can control our character. Now it's interesting. If we look at the main BP, the main blueprint for the character, her costume changes and stuff are tied into it as well, which is interesting because Maya, we are just controlling the joints, right? So in theory, there shouldn't be any signal crossover. So I should be able to control this character using Maya and still have access to the customizable functionality of the character, which is nice, which would be really cool. That's something I probably want to carry forward to any sort of animation context. So if we have a show and we've got a character in a show, it's made me just realize building the costume changes into the blueprint for the character would be super handy. Typically how we handle it in the past is we'd either, worst case scenario, every costume change was its own unique character, right? Best case scenario, there would be the ability to swap things out inside of Maya, but then there would be the problem of simulation framework if you've got a cloth sim going, or even just basic skin weighting and things like that. So we would have weight maps that you'd store and transfer and all kinds of other stuff. This is pretty old school, actually, the techniques I'm talking about. But this will be exciting if we can incorporate this. Okay. So it did not want to delete that. Why did it not want to delete it? Let's try again. Delete that. Kill it. Kill it. Failed to load assets. So let's see what the problem is in the message log. Or is this something that just sort of cleans itself up when you exit out? See, I got my character here, right? And then we got this character there. So I just want to take this guy and delete that one as well. Am I going to get the same? No. So that one's fine, right? Oh, I might have to climb up the folders. That could be it. So let's force delete this guy, right? And see what happens. If my character disappears in the level, that might be a bit of an issue. Hopefully not, though, because I've got the duplicate assets over here. And it's left all this stuff. Uh-oh. Herein lies a problem. How do we get rid of this stuff? Okay. So let's So let's go and save all. Let's do this, right? Because I like to keep things nice and tidy. But if I move this over to deprecated, maybe it'll get rid of it. Whoa, something in here is holding on to that. If I move this into my library folder, remove it there. Failed to load assets. Okay, something's happening, and I suspect it has a lot to do with the links we have in here. So let's first of all grab our simple character example and kill it. We don't need that in there. We got the sky sphere blueprint, that one, and that one. I generally like to, can we control G it there? No, so let's create a folder, and that will be environment. These guys can move into my environment folder, and in here I'll create another folder. Sky, move this guy into the environment folder, and move these guys in there. That's my sky, and then we've got the documentation, don't need that. Network player start, point lights. Why are these guys not in the lighting folder? I don't know. So let's move these guys in, and the skylight as well. I'm going to move that into the sky, right? Light mass, importance volume. Okay, we'll keep that around our scene and the light source as well. Okay, so let's, oh, I can't group this. Can I create a folder? Group the selected actors? No, that's not what I'm after. So yeah, it won't let me create a folder. I have to do this manually this way. Okay, so rig 1 intro. Nope. Let's call this rig 1 dev, right? So that's my lighting rig. We'll grab these guys, we'll move them in here. And text render actor. Oh yeah. No, we don't need that. And don't need that one. Network player start. And there's our blueprint. So let us try this. Let's pop into our Nikki asset. Oh no, can't really. Man, it's not letting me get rid of that. So let's see if we can grab this guy. We'll delete it. And now we're into our Nikki. And in here we should have, I'm going to rename this. And we'll call this the Nikki TS01 BP, right? Hopefully that's not too long. Yep, actor 1, Nikki TS01 BP. Let's pop her in there, right? So that's cool. And she's in there. No, well, let's leave it at that level for now, right? So that's cool. I want to see if this changes her functionality. Let's have a look, right? So I'm going to pop this open. So inside the Nikki, we have our skeletal mesh, and we've got, so I want to keep the ponytail. Oh yeah, they got expression controls. That's cool. Let's see how this is going to work. Okay, so smile. Ha ha ha. Oh. That did not work. Oh, because we're in the negatives. So let's go 5, right? Let's go 1. Yes, it's normalized to 1. Okay, that's fine. Show teeth. Let's see. That's pretty cool. Okay, so I don't have to worry about that. So there's a little bit of expression. Oh, we can change the lip size, nose width. Oh, there's a lot of stuff we can change. This is cool. I'm going to like the fact that we have this linked up to this system. There's a texture link that's broken. We'll sort that out in a second. So I don't want the sailor skirt, just the pants, right? And top color, bottom color, underwear, socks, normal shoes. Yep, that's cool for now, just for the previs. And now with, let's see if we can get rid of the simplified character. We don't need that anymore either. Can we delete that? Assets referencing pending deleted assets overview. Let's see if we can force delete it. So that one's gone, right? That's cool. I think I have to go through, if I want to get rid of this, I think I have to go in and get rid of all the root folders. Yeah, no. See if we can group delete this. The blueprints themselves. Yeah, I'm gonna have to go in and let's see if we can group delete these guys. So we got a ladder deleted, right? Climb up the ladder of deletions. Will the delete key do this for me? Let's see. Some software doesn't like that. No, it doesn't want to. It doesn't want to delete these guys for me. That's really weird. Okay, let's go in here. There's nothing in here. Nothing in here. It must be being referenced somewhere, preventing me from deleting it. Yeah, it's being referenced somewhere. Damn. Okay, simplified character example. But we've killed that example from our see if we can rename it. It makes another copy for me. No. Let me guess. I can't delete this either, right? Oh yeah, I can delete that one. So what happens if we rename this guy? No, it just... So let's look that up. I do want to see what is happening with that, right? So let's pop over into an Explorer window and let's take a look. Folder, delete. This, copy. Copying, moving, deleting folders. Why do deleted content browser folders reappear? Oh, no, you know what? I should just write in can't delete. Unreal can't delete folder. Let's find a quick answer for that. Can't delete fix redirect. That's fix redirects. Remember that. Go to your project folder. See, this is why I don't go into Explorer and delete the folders themselves, because of content referencing errors. Delete the folder in the content, whoops, browser. If the deleted folder doesn't disappear, then right click on the folder, show in Explorer, find the folder you're trying to delete, check the properties. You'll find that there are files in these folders. Unreal thinks these files are gone, but it's there in the file system. Find and delete these files. Delete the folder again in the content browser, and Unreal should now correctly delete the folder from the content browser. Sometimes, okay, this way I don't get potential referencing errors. I think the problem might be that Unreal seems to delete these files in the content browser, but not from the file system, due to it thinking that these files are being used. Okay, that seems logical to me. I like this bit of advice because I think that that's right. Check properties. Yeah, there's probably hidden files in there. So let's try in here first, right? Because I bet you that there are. I bet you there are assets in here. So can we navigate to this? So if I select this guy, can we go File? That would be nice, eh? Just navigate to, oh, there it is, Show in Explorer. So let's go in there. Yeah, see? So we do have an asset in there. Now, if I take this, oh no, let's be very careful. Yeah, I want to kill that one. So let's take that character out. Now, I should be able to delete this guy, right? And it goes. Grab this guy and then we'll delete it. Doesn't go yet. So let's try deleting this guy. So is there something else in there? Let's go Show in Explorer. Whoops. And see, yeah, we got one of these guys in there. Let's kill that. Now, why am I deleting the particular asset and then the folder? Just to make sure the folder tags inside of Unreal, the tags being the way Unreal remembers where certain things are located, I want to make sure those are cleaned out, absolutely, right? So in here, now if I can't delete this, that's the ticket. It means that there's something in there, right? So let's go to deprecated. Let's do the same thing in here. This way, I'm done with it. Get rid of it. Thank you. And then we don't need a deprecated folder, right? So I'm going to delete the deprecated folder. We have a character. We've got levels in there. Yeah, no. Can I call this? Let's rename this as underscore character underscore levels, right? So we can use that as a test level area. I'm probably going to delete it once I'm done, but the underscore at the front moves it all the way to the top, right? So I know that my cast will be just living down here. So that's cool. Now, that's in my characters folder. That's cool. Now I want to get rid of this folder, right? So let's see. Can I delete these guys? I probably have to no, I can get rid of it there. But this one, I had to ladder delete this, didn't I? Right? So let's go in. It didn't want to do that. So let's come in here. Can we ladder delete all these guys? No. So let's find these in Explorer. No, it's going to open up an Explorer for everything. I should have expected that. Escape. No. Once it's locked into that operation, it's doing that operation. Lordy. Okay, well, that's fine. Well, we know that those folders are, hopefully I can do that. At least, a little bit. One folder up. That's all I'm asking, one folder up. Don't make me go in and just delete individual files. Let me just do this, right? I come in here, delete that. Oh, it's being used. I'm gonna have to delete that guy manually. Okay. Can I just delete these guys? I'm being cheeky and sneaky. Hopefully, this won't come and bite me in the ass later. Hopefully. I don't want to spend the whole time just ladder deleting stuff. Okay. So we had no trouble with anything other than, where's our textures? Was it in general? General, nope. There was a textures folder. Well, let's go through and see if we can't now delete these guys. Can we delete them? Let's delete them. Let's go one by, oh, there it is, the skin texture one. Okay, let's grab these guys, delete those 16 folders. Yeah, come in here, in there, delete that texture. We need to redirect our links. Oh, it's not finding that. So let's go, can we delete this? All right, we might have an issue with this one. Okay, so let's kill that there. File is open in Unreal Editor 4. Okay. So we need to redirect our skin texture here. Which is why she's blank, right? So let's pop down. Let me open up her blueprint. Oh, let's go back to content, characters, Nikki. And we'll go to the textures. Yeah, we want to redirect the mesh to access that texture, right? So let's go to the skin. Should load up the mesh editor. I'm working from memory here, guys. But now, so we've got material slots here. And yes, indeedy, we are missing the skin. Let's pop into here. Now, if I click on this, we should get into the material editor, right? So the material editor is here. And let's see which material it's referencing. And then we'll see if we can't go in and plug that in. So I'm looking for nodes that are, there we go. So there's our texture error. Texture. So we want the skin texture, right? So let's just be absolutely sure this is the one we want. So I got the material definition there. Material skin. It would make sense. So I believe this is looking for the color map. Skin specular. That's cool. It's a nice shader. Okay, so for this guy to work, we'll need to find our skin. Actually, let's look for the name of it. Right, so the skin here would be, that's the occlusion, and swimsuit skin. It's a swimsuit mask. Why is it, so we've got the occlusion, roughness, and the normal map. Take a look at that. Okay, so that's that one. Did it not migrate over? Let's take a look. Let's take a look. It might not have migrated over properly. Go to content, go into character, content, and GR stylized female. Go into the character, textures, skin. Yes, it didn't. Ah, gotcha. So we need to move. I was like, why is that missing. So I think this probably didn't migrate over properly. It's failing to load the assets. Let's see if we can force the issue inside here. Right, so if we come into content, characters, content, stylized female, character, textures, skin, this one, right? Exit from there. And, oh, it might not do this, but if we copy it over, at the very least, go into our skin, and our skin in there. Now, it might not copy it over. That's okay. Or it's not cutting it over, but let's go back and see if we can't copy it over. So the idea is we come in here, grab this guy, copy it, make sure the asset's not damaged by checking the size of it, and then we'll back her up, get into our characters folder here, get into our textures, our skin, and our skin, and it should literally just make a copy. That's fine. So now let's see if we can connect up that version. So what was it called again? It was called skin. Yeah, okay. So let's come in here and I'll just look at the SKIN, right? Skin base color texture. This one's pointed at long socks. No. This one's pointed at GR female. Wow, so this is pointing to an external D drive. I want that. Skin base color. So we got our occlusions. We're not after base color. What are we after? What's it called again? Base color U asset. Skin base color U asset. So here I thought it was going to direct me to where I needed to go. Oh, I think I'm reading the wrong directory. I want to look at the top directory. So it says these are in long socks. Stylized, skin. That we want to get rid of, so we want to break the connection to that one. All right, so this one is going to neckband. That one. Skin fishnet. Oh, yeah, here we go. Nikki TSO1 texture skin. That's the one we want, right? Why is it not letting me connect this guy up? That's stylized female skin. We want a Nikki TSO1 textures skin. Oh, that's a bit of an issue. So why can't we? Let's see if let's bring in another error and property base color. See if we get another error. Let me try this again. Node error on property speculator. Ah, man. Okay. Is there a way I can see what this one is connected to in some kind of node editor? Let's go to our. So that's connected to our materials here. So that is the skin. Those are the socks. Fake specular. Now, I'm not sure why it's not letting me redirect. Okay, let's see if we can bring in a texture sampler node. Texture sample. Let's create one here. Now for this, I'm going to come into, let's really try to force this, right? I'm going to go to my skin. That's the stylized female one. We want the Nikki skin, right? No, it's not letting me map that on there. Let's see if it lets me map the old one on there. Okay, so perhaps that's not the node. So what is the error? Missing input texture. Ah, right. Right. So the input texture would be a file node, right? So it would be a texture sample. No, that's right. So I got a texture sample here. This one's pointing to skin normal too. And these guys are working properly. And this is also a 2D parameter node. Maybe that's what we need, right? So let's look at this, right? I think we need a 2D parameter node. Okay, so let's pop in here. I suspect there's a node missing, right? Let's see, what was that node called for the image? Is it a texture sampler? 2D parameter node? Let's try that. I think that might be it. Param 2D, right? Param 2D. Yes, I think that might be it. So let's go in. Let's see if this will work. So if I come in here and I go to my skin again, let's connect up our skin base color. And we're using the Nikki texture skin, that guy, right? Why does it not want to accept that texture? Okay, Nikki skin. No. Let's try this. So what are you compatible with? If I come out here like this, let's put in a texture object. If we come in here and we plug in our skin here. So let's go to our base color. That's the socks. It's a skin. How's that going to work? It has not worked. Did it need to compile first? Maybe. Let's try. Let's go back to our base color. No, something about that. It just does not like that. It's pretty crazy. So let's come back here to material skin, which I've just now edited. Ah, yeah. So I got to save this. Saves that off. Let's just leave the default texture object just to see what we get. My whole point is I wanted to disconnect a reference to the original skin and see if we can deal with that. Okay. Saving packages. All right. So I'm going to kill it if this doesn't work because we need to get that connection happening straight away. The material is there. Looks a bit crazy. That's cool though. I just want to see if by replacing material here. Okay, so where's the speed here? Snapping to objects. There we go. So let's take that speed down to 1. Right? That's too slow. Let's take the speed to, let's do 3. Let's try 3 because I think it was set at 4 before. There we go. Okay, cool. Yeah, so that's that. Now, will I be able to come in here and delete this? Can I go into the folder and delete it? Scan. Can we delete you? It's open somewhere else in the Unreal Editor. It's not in the material node. Yeah, it's not going to let me delete that, is it? Okay, let's try this again, and I'm going to look up that error. Okay. So one quick look. Okay, so I found an entire article on fixing up redirectors to a folder. Let's try that first. So let's come over here and let's see if we can fix up the redirectors in the folder. Will that then allow me to come in here and delete that? Okay. So we will sort that out later. Till then, we've got that GR folder. I've got the character levels in there, the library of props, and that's where I wanted to get rid of this one too. That didn't work. So I got basic props in there. I got the outstanding folder here. I got character levels in there. That's cool. I got Nikki in there. That's cool. Okay. Done. Relatively clean, right? So I'm going to save all. Probably rename this as underscore demo underscore character, right? No, won't let me do that. So I got to hold on to that reference then, eh? Okay, so let's delete this folder. Let's delete that folder. Okay, cool. All right, so let's try our thing. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to kind of minimize. The file redirects the moving assets around. We're going to have to take a closer look at that later. So now I've got Maya transmitting here. So let's pop in here and let's go to our edit. So window where's our live link? It's not there. So that tells me we probably have to go into our plugins and fire that up again. Really strange that I'm losing my plugins on everything. So was it in developer? That's multi-user editing. Okay, let's restart that guy because we need it. If this works, I will be so happy. We're looking at 1 o'clock now, so I do need to get ready. So I'll have to leave you guys as soon as we get the connection working. Now, here's the pain I just realized. Every time I want to work on animating inside of Maya, I have to redo the plugins, retransmit the route, go into Unreal Engine, redo all that. Wow. And only because I have this strange issue where Maya's not auto-loading my plugins, and every time I open Unreal, I have to auto-load the plugins as well. It's really strange. I wonder if it has to do with permissions, actually. I wonder if I need to launch these guys as... I think I have to launch these guys as admin. So why we have a black level is because it's referencing the character level here. I believe, was it the overview map? Might be. Let's take a look. And the opening map is actually referencing something else, which I'll show you guys how to set that in a second. There we go. So we're back. So in the edit editor preferences, right? So the map loading, where is it now? Loading and saving. Load level at startup, project default. Let's go last opened, right? And we want to monitor auto reimport. I think that's where we need to set it. Yeah. So where do we set the project default? I think that's under global. No. Somewhere in here. Level editor. No. Content editors. No. Well, it'll open up the last level. So that's fine. Okay. So now we should have, there we go. There's our live link, right? So pop this over here. Now I'm just going to wait and see if we can pick this connection up, right? So we're now transmitting, right? So let's go to source, message bus. Come on, man. Come on, pick it up. Now it could be a case of needing to relaunch this. So let me close this guy off. Let's relaunch the live link. Come back up here. Come on, you. Pick it up. All right. So window, live link. Live link's happening over here. Link UI. Okay. No presets found. Message bus source. So it seems to be a whole new problem. So let's first see if we need to create a link. That could be it. So let's go into here, the main blueprint for the character, right? And I'll pop this up, right? So we've got the skin inherited, all that kind of stuff. We want to add a component, and the component I want to add is the live link, skeletal animation, right? And this is live link to Mickey, right? So that's cool. Now we've got a live link attachment. Let's see if we get that message bus now. so let's try this again. Pop in here into the animations. I'm trying to figure out which one's the master blueprint. That's the blend space. That's the animation blueprint. Anim starter pack. It's not going to be in there. Epic default. That's jump, run, walk. I think it's this one. Let's take a look. Let's take a quick look. Okay, so here we got an anim graph, and now I'm not sure that this is the one that we're after. It's an A-B movement. That doesn't sound right. So let's go into, is that anim restarter? What if there's a way of tracking down where that is coming from? Yes, there must be. So I'm going to pop in here again. Let's take a look at our blueprints, and there's our main character blueprint. Let's pop that open because I want to see what you are referencing for your animation library. So come down here and event graph. This one, maybe that one. Movement. Character movement. So what are you referencing? Camera component, character movement. We got our event graph here, right? So that's this guy. And we've got player input. Let's take a look at the player input graph. Let's add HUD to the screen, pivot position. There's our movement, collapse graph. Movement input, and so that'll trigger no, I didn't want to double click on that. Timeline. So you're playing. What are you playing? Timeline 5. W is pressed. Blink in the event graph. Okay. Let's try this again. Fire up Live Link. Go to message bus source, and let's see if something appears here any minute now. I'm going to pop back over to the PowerPoint just to double check my notes and see what's going on in here. Let's pop back over to the cinematics. All right. Okay, so we got the mannequin, third-person character blueprint. So in here, we added the live link component, skeletal animation. That's cool. And I think we need the animation BP's anim graph to be transmitting. Let's see. Do we have to transmit first? That's possible, actually. I think we need to do that one first before we can control this guy. So let's try it. Well, no, we should still pick up a connection. That's really strange. Wheel back up here. Live link, character prep. We got the template set up and the plugin installed and launched, right? So we've got that. Then click on live link, but we're not getting a link. Why not? So we got the root data there. So you are transmitting. Full hierarchy. Streaming. Right? Let's try this again. Go add that selection. And come in here. Right. So that does not seem to want to transmit. Try this again. Live link. Oh, I know. That's indicating I need to save the current. Right. Double click here. And we've got this character with the live link component there. Let's open it up. Let's save this. Right. That should update that character. Now if we come in here, maybe. There. Okay. It wasn't accepting the connection because I hadn't saved off the character. Let's make a note of that. That's a pretty important detail, right? Okay. So we're now connected. Let me pop this open. That's a really important detail. So sometimes it's really good to sort of struggle through these things. You find these little niggly things. And again, this wasn't in the tutorials. Or if they were, the presenters probably breezed through them really quick. And it's certainly not in the documentation, right? So if we take a look at this, that's for the main character BP, we need to be sure to save / compile first. Oh, I don't need a capital C in compile. Okay. I'm going to save that off as another note. It should direct me to my regular UE4, not the basics. I'm going to come into here. Not games production, cinematography, games, UE4, images, 2019 setup. Let's save you in here. Why is it... It's a bit of a strange one there, but I'm just going to save this off in there. Okay, so now we have a little bit of an arduous task. So we are connected. That's cool. We can see that flux capacitor is fluxing, but we don't have a live connection yet because we need to feed the pose data into our main blueprint. So for that, we need to go back to our character animations and we need to track down which one is the main, that's breathing, kneeling, standing, sitting, walking. Where's the main blueprint? Those are animations. It's the mannequin character. No, this is the mannequin character, right? So why did you keep the mannequin character? And the animation starter pack. And these are all for the mannequin, right? UE4 mannequin. Okay, so that's retargeting. That's fine. So we're back in our animation folder, and there's our anim starter pack. Stand, sprint, iron sights, jog, death, anim space hip, crouch, idle. Yeah, it wouldn't be in here. So those are, so it's got to be either this one. Animation blueprint or this one. That's the blend space. I reckon it's this guy here, right? So we got an anim graph. Now we might have to do a bit of jiggery pokery. Aha, so here's our state machine, right? And it's sending to my blend poses. Now we want to, I believe, interrupt this signal. I think that's how we're going to do it. Let's experiment with this a little bit, guys. I'm going to. So that's the output pose, right? So we got, it's going in here, blend pose. Ah, right. Okay, so it's incorporating the bunch of these real-time animations, right? That's cool. Hand size, breathing, and then it's going to our output pose. Yeah. So do we want to interrupt the signal before or after, right? Because we want live link. I think we want to interrupt that with a live link pose before. That would make sort of the most sense to me. So let's try that, right? So we got this guy, and we got, now we might need, are these all state machines? Okay. Let's bring this guy down. Yeah. Yeah, let's go for it. So I'm going to come in here and let's see if we can find the live link. Live link pose. There you are, right? And I want that live link to be accessing my root. But hey, so let's connect you up into here and then send that output over this way, right? And it's a pose blender. Okay, cool. So let's compile this guy. Please work, please work, please work. And then we'll save it. AB at movement B. Go to the overview. And we lost our character. No. Oh, is it because of the Z up? Ah, it's because of the Z up. Ah, no. No, 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 no. Okay. So we have a bit of an issue here with Maya and its connection to Unreal. Let me see if we're connected, though. Let's see if we're connected. If we're connected, I'm happy, right? Yeah, we are connected. Dude. Okay. Cool. So that was our only sort of issue. All these little tiny things you got to think about before you can start to dive in and animate, right? So let's do that. So I'm going to come in here. I'm going to go to... what's the best way to do this? So ideally, I should have imported this character in a Z-up context. I'll show you what I'm after, right? So we're going to go to Windows, Settings, Preferences, and Preferences, right? Now, unfortunately, ZBrush, Unreal wants things in a Z-up context, right? So we're going to save that. That's kind of what we needed to do. But unfortunately, that leaves us with this sort of a situation where now suddenly I'm going to have to rotate my character 90 degrees. That's totally cool. Oh, it's like this. Oh my God, man. Damn. So we're in the negative Z axis for that. That's really messed things up a little bit for us. So that's okay. I'm going to see. Let's come to the reference node, right? So we got to go negative 90. Unfortunately, why are we upside down though? That's a bit of an unusual thing for me. Can't understand why we've got that kind of a situation, and we've lost our hair. Right. So let's go to take a look at the controls for the hair. Because I believe we just pop that onto the neck head. No, we left that intact, didn't we? So we gave it its own auxiliary set of clusters. That's cool. And the joint chain for it. This guy, let's find it. Hair braid. Yeah. Man. No, because it's controlled by the cluster groups. That's not going to work. So we're going to have to reset up this character again. That's okay. That's totally cool. I'm just going to grab this and hide it. Right. And I have to adjust the rotation on my camera as well. And there's an offset in the head tilt. Ugh. So a few niggly things we're going to have to sit and figure out. But it's my bad. That's actually good. This is an opportunity for me to run through the HIK rig with the character again. Simply because I didn't have an opportunity, or because of the fact that my audio kicked out midstream, right? So that's good. We'll talk a little bit about that. I'm going to bring this character together. This is cool. This is going to be way more fun to animate. Okay, bring that down. Just want to have a little bit of fun. Cool. So I'm just having fun posing this character out. And just seeing how responsive it is inside of Unreal. It's pretty cool. Okay, so we're gonna have to do an auxiliary pivot kind of thing over there. Oh, that's awful. Let's bring this back in. Whoa! And let's get her situated more. Huh. Interesting. Anyway, so yeah, the connection's working. I just have to fix up a few things, especially because we had a nice IK tail sort of rig happening. I'm sort of disappointed that the character needs to be fixed up somewhat, but that's all right. It's par for the course, really. Let's see what... See, I'm watching this on the other monitor over here. Da, da, da. Okay. This will be way more fun to animate, I think. Okay, cool. So now we've got our proxy character. Now the fact that we interrupted the sort of the animation pipe fairly early on, and we're blending our own poses with everything else, we get the added benefit of the procedural breathing and all that kind of stuff. I'm really happy I sort of spent the time to set up this project file to be our basis, right? So I think I will be able to get at least a basic performance happening, which is cool. Again, there are a few niggly things that I'm going to have to figure out with I think, with re-rigging the character. So I'll walk through that again a little bit later. So that's cool. I'm going to save it all off, and we will pick this up tomorrow. I'll pop in the morning and do this. So, holy cow, really complicated. And all these niggly little things. So what did we figure out today? Or what did I figure out today? Number one, when you make the live link changes inside your main character blueprint, you got to remember to compile and or save. Otherwise, I'm sitting there looking at the Maya connection going, huh? Why is it not connected? Right? The other thing is, big schoolboy error. I should have built this character in a Z-Up Maya project context. So, oh, that looks awful. What an awful pose. But that's cool. I will sort that out later. I don't want to save this. But again, I will re-tackle this character later. I might actually build a better rig than the human IK rig, because it just feels so limiting now. But I don't know. We'll see. So I've broken that connection, and you can see that inside of Unreal, she snaps back, right? So what I'm going to do with the next session, probably tomorrow, is re-rig my base character and then save some keyframes. Because the next step is, how do I get some keyframes factored into the anim graph here? And so we'll connect that all up. Okay, so I'm going to save this guy off. We should be good. And I will leave it at that. I have loads of paperwork to catch up on.